All right, guys, let's connect it up here. Waiting to connect on YouTube today, October 3rd, 2021, coming at you, live stream. Man, I missed you guys last week, so hopefully you guys are doing well. Just wait for the YouTube to catch up and everybody to join here before we get going. So overall, guys, we're going to talk about some Walking Dead stuff. I mean, I may mention a little bit about the World Beyond because I saw the first episode, but we'll talk about that. So, man, like I said, October 3rd, 2021, coming at you for the live stream. I missed last week. So some people were worried that I was not posting stuff last week. I was gone. I was out of town. I was away from my computer. So I'll talk about that a little bit. And yeah, it was a crazy thing. So my good friend from middle school was finally getting married last weekend. So he was supposed to get married last year, 2020, but the pandemic, all that stuff, you know how it goes, right? So we're back to talk about it. Last weekend I was in New Jersey on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, flew back Sunday. So last Tuesday I flew back and we got home late. So last Tuesday I was in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Florida all in the same day. Had a layover in Georgia and was there. I was hoping I'd see somebody at the Atlanta airport, but, wasn't there. We were just there in the Southwest area, just hanging out and waiting for it was like a 3-hour and 45-minute layover because Southwest, that's what they did to us. Initially, we had direct flights. We had a direct flight going there, but not on the way back. And either way, it all worked out. We all made out well. It was just a crazy, busy, hectic week, making up for the short week and missing the live stream last Sunday. I apologize because I was away. When I came home Tuesday, I posted something on YouTube on the just posted a chat or whatever, and it was good to be back and people were understanding and some people knew, some people didn't, some people were there. But I didn't post a video Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I finally got one out Wednesday, I believe. So man, a lot of stuff has happened since then in the world of The Walking Dead. So if you have AMC Plus, you hopefully watch the season 11 episode 8. Well, I guess it's you want to say like mid-season finale, but it's like the 1/3 finale because it's 3 parts. So we haven't had confirmation that it's 3 parts. We had it a while ago, but I was hoping they would give us a date or at least a month when it would be back, which I would hope and think could be February. But overall, I watched the episode. I'll break it down for you in a review video. I already made the video. I'll post it later today. My wife and I, we also watched The World Beyond Season 2, Episode 1. We did not watch 202 yet. So if you're going to watch Talking Dead tonight, the guests are, I don't know their real names, but it's Lance from the Commonwealth, Hope from The World Beyond, and the comedian guy that's been on there several times. He's pretty hilarious. So that's the guests for Talking Dead. And if you know The World Beyond, Season 2, Episode 1, you know why Hope is on there. And also, if you saw Season 11, Episode 7, you know why Lance is on there. Because Lance definitely has some agendas. We'll talk about that. It's just kind of weird that people are watching 1107 tonight, but 1108 came out on AMC Plus. I don't ever think I'm going to be okay with it, but I love watching it ahead of time. And it was pretty cool stuff. So up to date on that stuff, except for World Beyond Season 2, Episode 2, that came out today for AMC Plus. I watched The Many Saints of Newark on HBO Max on Friday. Decent movie. If you love The Sopranos, you'll enjoy it. It's, to me, a callback Easter egg movie. The movie is kind of disjumbled with how many people you're following and different stories and different aspects, but it's pretty interesting. If you like The Sopranos, it's worth a watch, that's for sure. And just trying to catch up with Animal Kingdom and all these different shows. And like I told you before a couple weeks ago, Heels is a show on Stars that I watched. There was no episode last Sunday. The new episode is already on, or today, for on Stars, called Heels. It's about wrestling in Georgia. And overall, guys, I've enjoyed Season 11, the first part of The Walking Dead. So I enjoyed it. It's definitely a good thing that The Walking Dead is kind of back to where it was. There's definitely been a lot of callbacks, connections, Easter eggs to prior seasons, different stuff. And so let's talk about 1106, since I didn't have really a good chance to talk about it last Sunday. So to me, 1106 is definitely one of the, more horror aspects, movie style in The Walking Dead that we haven't really seen before. It was definitely Connie, Virgil's episode, what they were doing to see what they were going to have with these feral people. It's just crazy when you see all these different theories and speculation. And I love it for what it is. People love talking about different stuff they saw on different channels or different stuff and bringing it up. And people think that the feral people were experiments from the Civic Republic. There's no connection with that. There's no, mention of that. So it's just good to talk about it and good theories. But at the end of the day, a theory of speculation is kind of just what it is. Maybe it comes true. Most likely it doesn't. People are just trying to get people want to have a connection so bad with the Walking Dead universe, the world beyond, Rick, Civic Republic, Elizabeth Kublik, Dr. Bennett, experiments gone wrong, new walkers, new this, cure angle. People want to have that all together. And I don't think it's going to happen. Like, what I possibly think is going to be is probably a letdown if you're trying to see that. We have to manage expectations. I don't think Robert Kirkman and Scott Gimple and everybody, the powers that be, are going to give us this awesome, rewarding, epic ending of the Walking Dead universe as a whole. I hope the main series is really great next year when it ends. Hopefully it's exciting, epic. It's probably going to set things up more than anything, which is kind of lame for a series finale if it's not really a finale. It's like it's ending, but it's not. We're going to have the Daryl and Carol show. We're going to have Tales of the Walking Dead. We're going to have this. We're going to have that. Are we going to get a Judas spinoff? Are we going to get this show? We're going to have a Michonne spinoff. How's it going to connect with the movies? How does Jadis fit in? How does the World Beyond Season 2 fit in? Because that's going to be done this year. And the first episode, I don't want to give too much away about the World Beyond Season 2, Episode 1, but it was, I made a review all about it. I'll post it on Monday, but it was kind of boring. It didn't do anything to prolong the story. It was backtracking with information that we kind of already knew or suspected with the Civic Republic. We know they're terrible people. We know they have plans for things. We know they're not great individuals where they're just willing to take out people that they have alliances and connections with. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to definitely support it. I'm going to see how it connects with Jadis and Rick and how that all connects. But, there's all these people talking about stuff like Rick was here in this place. Well, it's basically a city, because you see the trailers and you see what happens with Hope, Elizabeth Kublik, and Huck, and they're standing on top of a building. And it has no connection with Rick whatsoever. There's been no connections with Rick in the first season, second season so far. And I don't think it's going to be any connections until Jadis shows up. And so until Jadis actually mentions his name, that's the only connection. Like Hope, Iris, Dr. Bennett, Elizabeth Kublik, Huck, Felix, Percy, Silas, Elton, they have no connection with Rick Grimes whatsoever. No, they don't care about that character whatsoever. We do, and because we love Rick Grimes, and well, some people don't, but we love the Rick connection from the very beginning. And we'll see actually if there ever is one too. So the cool thing about 1106 was the callback connection, some sort of moment with Michonne, because Michonne's name was mentioned in the notepad, Connie's notepad, when she was when you could see the different handwriting, that was Connie and then Virgil and then Connie. You could see the different handwriting. So they were having a conversation writing it down. But Connie doesn't know Rick. Neither does Virgil. So that's really going to be, I guess, a dead end with that. I really hope Michonne is brought up again and again and again and more times over the season, and hopefully we get to see her. And I was talking with my wife as we were watching the episode 1108. Do you think they would end the series, the Walking Dead series, with Michonne walking down the road towards the gates of Alexandria, and that's how it ends? Or that's how the movie ends. Or somehow, that's like a big ending of it. Maybe it's just Michonne. Maybe it's Rick and Michonne. And that's it. See ya. Roll credits. I think that would be cool. It would kind of suck because people want to know more about these characters, where they've been, what they were doing, if it's explained or not. So, I don't know. It's always a good connection point. But I saw someone post a comment in one of my recent videos talking about Negan and Maggie and stuff. Well, don't worry, we're going to talk about that in a second or a couple minutes. But they said that The Walking Dead does a great job of building things up, but they do a bad job in delivering. And I don't know if I agree or disagree, but I do see the person's point, because they like Greg Nicotero used to say, or said in interviews before, they plant the seed and the seed grows into a flower or a tree or a story or something, and it grows into something, right? Do they do a better job building it up or delivering? Or they do a crappy job? I don't know. Whatever do you want to say? It's just it's an opinion question. There's no right or wrong answer, but because I think they do really good jobs with certain aspects of it. Like they do a great job with walkers and, just action stuff with there. But sometimes the action that's supposed to be like, the war stuff, all out war was all out bore. The Whisper of War was kind of a letdown in certain things. They covered certain aspects but didn't. The comic is there, but it's not. There's definitely changes too. So I don't know. It's something that I'm enjoying. I'm really enjoying to see where it's going. I'm personally fine with it ending season 11 because I'm kind of at the point now where I'm like, let's kind of wrap this up a little bit. The story is what it is, and it's building and building, and we have a million characters and more characters and more characters. And then that was probably my biggest thing with The World Beyond season 2 is we're getting more characters, new story. Do we even care about the characters? Not really. I mean, they're expendable. Like if anybody died on that show, we'd be like, all right, great. But if somebody died on The Walking Dead, you might be upset because we don't really care too much about the characters, which is not good character development or good for the story or good for anything when you're like, I don't care about these people. I care about Rick. I care about Daryl, Carol, Michonne, Judith, Morgan even, and Fear the Walking Dead, John Dory. And it's just, I don't know. And it took some time. And the fact that The World Beyond is only 2 seasons by design, it just seems like it's going to be rushed. The character development's not going to be there. They're going to glance over things. Stuff's going to make sense or it's not going to. It's just, I don't know. But either way, it's kind of cool that The World Beyond is on TV now. And after watching the season 11 first third finale, I can't wait to talk about it. We'll talk about that in the last half hour too. So I think some of the best parts of season 11 is the Commonwealth. Are you guys enjoying the Commonwealth stuff? If you're a comic reader, is that good or bad? So, man, like Gary Page, Gabriel's in a tower. Is anyone else worried? Like, I think it's time to let the water tower Gabriel death stuff go. Like, it's just like it's like every time. Oh, he walked up a ladder. Look out, guys! Oh my goodness, he's doing this. It's like, I don't think that's going to happen on there. I just think the time has gone and passed, and I think they're not going to cover it on the show. I just don't think they are too. So I think the Commonwealth stuff is some of the best aspect of the first third or first part, I guess. I'm liking Princess. I'm liking Mercer. Eugene, the Stephanie stuff is good. Ezekiel, of course. Yumiko's angle. And it's obvious when you're watching this season of The Walking Dead, maybe even the previous seasons, but this is more we're watching, that I'm not putting it down by any means. I want to put that disclaimer out. But it's very much women empowerment. Some of the stuff that would go to Daryl or Rick's not there or, other characters potentially in the past has gone to women. And predominantly we have a lot of women on the show. If you start to think about it, do we have more women or men on The Walking Dead? Because the Commonwealth story is 2 and 2. Princess, Yumiko, Eugene, and Ezekiel. So it's 2-2. But on the back home, you have Daryl and Leah. But then you have Father Gabriel, Elijah, Negan, and Maggie. But then in Alexandria, you have Carol, Connie, Magna, Rosita, Aaron, Judith, Gracie, RJ, Herschel. So it's 2 and 2 there. It's like you have so many characters for what it is. And I could see it where they're pushing the envelope. And it's not a knock on Angela Kang or anything there. It's just you can kind of see it a little bit more. And it's just one of those things where, do people get upset about that? Do they get mad about it? Do they get frustrated about it? Because when in doubt, give it to Daryl. And if you think about it, Daryl's kind of taken a back seat with a lot of this stuff so far. You know, you've given a little more story to different characters, and that's kind of cool, you know? So we'll see how it goes down with the future parts of the series, and we'll have to see what the end game is. So I want to kind of know how they're going to set up the Daryl and Carol show with this season. It's only the first 8 episodes, so they have a long way to go. But I don't know what's going to happen with this stuff going forward, but I hope it just works. Like, the Daryl and Carol show, I think it can carry its own show if it's interesting enough. Like, Daryl and Carol are great characters and great actors, and I think they're really essential to the Walking Dead universe. But if the story's dumb, like, are they just hoping for like 1 million viewers? Because I think that might be all they get. But if there's a mention about, like, is that the new thing? Like, The World Beyond is the latest show that's supposed to connect with Rick and the Civic Republic. Well, not even connect with Rick, but connect with the Civic Republic, that we're hoping that it connects with Rick. People are still hoping that Rick's going to show up and just pop out of a building like, hey, guys, and just keep walking down the street. And like, is that Rick? What? Is that Rick? Huh? Rick showed up here? But we're still waiting and waiting and waiting. The first season, World Beyond, was a bust with Rick stuff. The connection with Rick is going to be Jadis. So until she comes around and talks about it, we're still going to be waiting and waiting and waiting. And still waiting some more. Are they going to start filming the first Rick movie? Is that going to start the next year? Because at the end of this year, World Beyond will be done. The Fear the Walking Dead Season 7A will be done. The first third will be done for The Walking Dead. So next year, you have Season 7B for Fear the Walking Dead. Walking Dead Part 2 and Part 3. And then what? Like, what's after that? They're going to start filming the Carol and Daryl show, which won't come out till 2023 is what it was. I think they have to start. If they don't start filming, I don't know. If they don't start filming the Rick movie next year, I really don't know what the holdup is, because there's really no excuse anymore. They're filming movies and TV shows all the time, and they've been filming now for a while. Like, there's no reason that you can't have COVID protocols and stuff. Just, you can film stuff, and you've been filming for a long time. So if you don't have, The Walking Dead main show will be done filming in March. So if you go all the way to March and they start filming in April or May next year, The Walking Dead movie, the Rick movie, there's really no excuse why they shouldn't be. Right? So you can knock out a movie in a couple months. I mean, they can film, like, they filmed the Walking Dead episode in 2 weeks, Monday through Friday, so 10 days. And those episodes are like 40 minutes, 41 minutes, 45 minutes, right? So if you're filming an episode that takes 2 weeks, 45 minutes, and then another 45 minutes, that's a month, and that's 90 minutes. That's a short movie, an hour and a half. You can do that in a month. So hopefully they're prepping stuff. I don't know if they have to finish filming for the Commonwealth stuff at the studio to take it down, to put stuff up for the Rick movie. I don't know. So Mike says, I doubt these movies are ever coming. I hope you're wrong, Mike. Not just for you to be wrong, but I want to see these movies. I want to see the Rick story continue. I want to see all that stuff. But I could see them not making Indy 2. I don't want to see that. I want to see that happen, where the Rick stuff connects with this. Where has Michonne been all this time? We need the Daryl and Rick reunion, the Michonne-Rick reunion. Daryl needs to, and Carol need to connect in some major way. Rick needs to meet RJ. Needs to see older Judith. It's just, I don't know. So we'll see how it goes down. Just a lot of interesting information. Fear the Walking Dead Season 7 Episode 1 will be on AMC Plus next Sunday. So that's great, because The Walking Dead is done. Season 11, Episode 8. The first 8 episodes are done. So next week will be Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 1, and World Beyond Season 2, Episode 3 on World Beyond, or on AMC Plus. So That's crazy to think that we're getting those two shows. The Walking Dead is, wrapping up. And it's October. Like, it's crazy to think that it's October 3rd, and I sit here talking with you guys. Last Sunday, I was in New Jersey, probably getting ready for the wedding and putting on my seersucker suit to go on the beach for the beach wedding that I was there in New Jersey. So I missed you guys last week, that's for sure. Patricia says, how many episodes are left? The Walking Dead is 24 episodes minus 8, so they got 16. So it's 3/8. So 8, 1 through 8, 9 through 16, 17 through 24 is the parts how they're supposedly going to be broken up. And I'm loving the idea of having The Walking Dead wrap up in a great way. I just don't know if it's going to happen that way. I don't know if Gimple actually has a plan. I don't know. No, I wasn't in a blue leisure suit or a leisure suit. It was actually a pretty nice suit put together. When I had it hanging up in my closet, and it looks, it just doesn't look right hanging up, but with the blue shoes, with the suit and the white shirt and the, dark blue tie and the blue belt, it's very nice. It's from J. Crew. It was a good look. It was a good look when it was all put together, and it was a good time for sure. So, traveling, going through security, going through all this stuff, I wasn't a big fan of that. I just give you a little story when I was there. So last Saturday, my wife and I woke up early, like 5-something in the morning, had to get the house together, the cats together, get in the car and drive down there. So drive to the airport, which is about a half hour away. So we drove to the airport. First of all, hit every light. So I was losing time, right? And then go to the airport, try to park, went to level 6. They said they had open spots, didn't have it, had to get out of there, go to level 8. It was to the top, get to there, get on the monorail, get over to the other side. There was a huge line at TSA, which I was like, man, this is crazy, right? Which was the opposite effect when I was leaving Philly. There was like nobody in the airport. It was great. So we got there, the bags, check, security, x-ray machine. It was just, it was not good. So luckily we got the bags checked. We got this, ran over to the gate. They were going to start boarding very soon. So we lined up, got on there, got on the plane and got there. And it was good. After we got to New Jersey, it was much better. And there was some other crazy stuff. That's another time, right? That might be another video in there too. So Mad Ange says, I'm from South Philly. Cool. I know Philadelphia very well. I've been there from South Jersey, so I've been over to Ben Franklin, over the Walt Whitman Bridge many times, going over the Delaware River from Jersey to Philly, and I've been there too many times. My friends went to Drexel, so I know Philly, been there a lot. That was the closest, biggest city for me, for sure. So ultimately, guys, The Walking Dead is what binds us, what connects us on there too, and it's one of those things where, are you excited to see the second and third parts? Or are you kind of dreading it because it means the end of The Walking Dead? Because all good things must come to an end, right? All good shows, even the best shows, Breaking Bad, Sopranos, Seinfeld, Friends, whatever you like. Even Game of Thrones, the first 6, maybe 7 seasons, not the 8th season, but there's good parts of it. Everything has to come to an end. As long as you don't leave it in a way that's frustrating, that doesn't answer anything, it's like, I'm not a big fan of them setting up things, opening things up, and then not answering them, or not putting stuff that's satisfying for the fans. It's like you build stuff up, you have these things, and then you just glance over it, or you put things in a plot hole. And the biggest thing right now in the first 8 episodes I have to bring up is Oceanside. Because, spoiler alert for all 8 episodes, Oceanside is not mentioned, not seen, nothing to do with Oceanside whatsoever, right? I just can't believe that it's a whole community. Like, they went to Hilltop and we saw it, and that's burned down and it's not really good. Then we see Alexandria. That's where everybody's focused on, of course. But in the first 8 episodes, they don't even mention Oceanside whatsoever. Like it's not even an option to get food or supplies or to have people go there for safety, right? It's just not even mentioned. So they really need to show up. Or maybe, do we ever see Oceanside again? Like, what if we never see them again whatsoever? I could see that happening because who cares? If The Walking Dead is ending, it's done. Whatever, right? They're going to try to build it up to have you guys watch, and then when it's over, done. We did our job. See ya. It wouldn't be nice for the fans. It would be more frustrating than anything too. So I don't know. The Meridian stuff is kind of cool. Like, some people don't really agree with the Reaper story. Like, it's forced and it's dumb and it's there, but I think it's okay. It does fill in the gaps a little bit for the story, right? Because if the Reapers aren't in the comic, this is just for the show. Basically, at this time, they're rebuilding Hilltop. They burned it down. Carl and Maggie and Dante and everything, they're rebuilding Hilltop. The Commonwealth angle is there. The Commonwealth do the thing with Eugene, Michonne, Yumiko, Maggie. Like, there's different people that are at the Commonwealth now. Like, somewhat. Princess is there. Eugene's there. It's a Michonne instead of Yumiko. So they have the differences. They did a lot of good stuff there to remix it, and it keeps us interested. But the thing with Stephanie is, for the show, that they don't really do that in the comic. And then we have the Saviors are still kind of a problem in the comic, which is not going to happen on the show because the Saviors went away. So the Hilltop connection with, are they going to rebuild it? I hope so, because that would be something like, so we have 8 episodes done, and really none of those things are, there. So we still have 16 episodes after this. What are you going to do for 16 episodes? That's a lot of time. It might not seem like a lot, but it is. You're going to have to rebuild Alexandria. Are you going to rebuild Hilltop? Some people from our group's going to have to go to the Commonwealth. So you're going to have who's going to go from Alexandria to the Commonwealth? Well, the Commonwealth has to come to Alexandria first. It just has to happen that way. So Eugene is going to be connected with that. Eugene's going to have to meet the real Stephanie that we've been hinted at several times by now. And it's been kind of a thing that's building and building and building. And I'll talk about 1107 first briefly. I have to try to kind of remember what I watched in it, but I want to talk about 1108 for sure. So in the last half hour, in 2.5 minutes, we'll talk about it too. Mad Ange says, best episode ever. My favorite episode is 609, No Way Out, with the walkers and the group coming together and Maggie in trouble and Glenn in trouble and then being saved by Abraham and Sasha and setting the walkers on fire. And it's just a great episode. Like, you can watch 609 anytime, anywhere, especially if you've seen it and you'll watch it, and I would assume you'll like it. It's got everything you need in an episode, right? The stuff with Glenn and Enid, Maggie stuck on the platform, Abraham, can you get the gate, pal? Thanks. Can you get the bed? It's just great. Like, it's just taking out the walkers and Rick and them taking out all the walkers, Carl getting his eye taken out. It's just, to me, it's just awesome too. So Wilson asks, well, that's 1107. Wilson, I'll talk about that in a minute and 30 seconds. I'll talk about the whole thing with Yumiko and Yumiko's brother too. So the whole Yumiko brother angle is, Patricia says, wait, what? Stephanie is not Stephanie? I missed the signs. Well, I think Stephanie is Stephanie, but Stephanie that Eugene is talking to is not the woman that he talked to on the radio. The woman that Eugene talked to on the radio is the woman that got the ice cream cones, the 6 ice cream cones from the ice cream truck. And that's a different woman than the other Stephanie. I think that other Stephanie is working with Lance. And again, we'll talk about that in a minute. So there's a lot of different things where they could do here from the Commonwealth angle. And after the Reapers are taken out, we're going to probably get into the Commonwealth stuff with Lance, Pamela Milton, Mercer, the soldiers. Like, it should be really, really interesting where they're going to go, because if you know the comics, you know that Ezekiel and Rosita are not in this part of the story at all. They're both in the Pike lineup with the Whisperer War. Their heads are on pikes in the Whisperer War. So they're not here. Ezekiel brings a whole different angle. Rosita brings a whole different thing. Father Gabriel's not alive either. So Father Gabriel, Rosita, and Ezekiel are very much alive in the story. So what are they going to get in the story of the Commonwealth going forward? I can't wait to find out, and we will find out later on this season. So, all right, guys, we're getting into spoiler territory. We're going to talk about 1107 and 1108. So I'm just trying to remember 1107 as much as I can. So 1107, we see the Commonwealth is highlighted very much here. You see that Stephanie and Eugene are taking out walkers in a building with a knife and a spear. They didn't give him any armor, but this is their, I guess, duty to, they have the debt from what they did before, trying to use the radio and everything there. So they have to pay that back. So this is kind of like their sentence, their jail terms, their jail sentence. They're trying to pay that back. So Princess and Ezekiel are in another building taking out walkers. Ezekiel's not doing well. He's coughing. He ends up actually going to get medical attention, and he gets antibiotics and different stuff, and he brings back lollipops for the group. And it's kind of cool. Ezekiel's doing much better, but I think he's going to end up needing surgery from Yumiko's brother. But so I'll just get into the question now. People ask about Yumiko's brother. So Yumiko is being interviewed by some person to go meet with Pamela Milton, and they're going to set up a meeting. They never make the meeting, so we don't meet Pamela Milton. But Yumiko leaves the office, and she's walking with Tommy, and they enter the train station. As they go into the train station, they sit down and they're talking about the baker, being a doctor, being this, and Yumiko wants Tommy to be a surgeon because of he can do a lot of good, and he can also have a lot of status and just all the thing that comes with being a surgeon. So he is an important point because he's not being the surgeon that he's supposed to be, but he doesn't want to be that way. He's happy to be a baker. As they sit down and they talk, he's arrested. We don't know why he's arrested, but we turn out that Yumiko finds out that it was Lance, and Lance has a plan. There's something up with Lance. Like, is Lance going around Pamela Milton's back? Is he trying to overthrow Pamela Milton? Is he trying to take power over from Pamela Milton? Because that's not in the comic. That's just for the story here. That's something, and I think the Lance, Pamela Milton, Commonwealth stuff is going to be just for the show, which is good. It's different, right? So it's interesting because the show is the show and the comic is the comic, and I like how they mix things up, and they usually have done a pretty good job with it. Some characters that are just for the show, some notable characters are Daryl, Merle, Simon, Jerry. Like, major characters that have huge impacts on the show wouldn't be the same without them either. The major one being Daryl, of course. So Tommy is arrested. Lance says, I just need a little bit longer for that to Yumiko. Yumiko says, you have a couple more hours, but you're going to let my brother go, basically. But Lance has something planned there, too. So we don't know what that is. But Lance also comes over to Eugene and Stephanie and Princess. Ezekiel comes there and gives them the lollipops on there too. So Lance comes over and he's like, how we doing, everybody? Good. Are you ready for a new assignment? Sure. Ezekiel and Princess can go to another part to, clear out some more walkers. And Lance sends out Stephanie and Eugene to a different area. As they're standing there watching, they see Mercer and some young kid and a young woman and then 3 Commonwealth soldiers walking somewhere. That is Sebastian Milton. That is the son of Pamela Milton. He's a punk. He's probably going to go down as the worst annoying character ever, but that's by design. That's who he is. He's a silver spoon, obnoxious, pretentious, just punk. I don't know how else to say it. He's not supposed to be liked. He's, Aiden and Nicholas from Alexandria times 1,000. He's so much worse. The big thing about that is Sebastian Milton is he shoots Rick in the comic and kills Rick. So who is that going to go to in the show? Ezekiel, Aaron, Negan. Is that, some people are thinking, are probably the most common choices for Sebastian if they're going to do that. But Sebastian's a punk. He's sitting there with his girlfriend on a date. They're making out underneath the pavilion. Stephanie and Eugene are walking around. They see the walkers coming behind Sebastian and his girlfriend, and they run over and kill the walkers. And Sebastian is ungrateful for it. He's like, what are you doing? We have private security for this, which is Mercer and the soldiers, but they're nowhere to be found. As they're talking and Eugene is not having it, another walker comes out of nowhere that nobody sees or smells or hears or anything. It gets really close to Sebastian's girlfriend. Stephanie stabs the walker. The blood squirts out all over Sebastian's girlfriend's dress and sweater top or whatever. It gets all over her face. She's kind of covered in it. And Sebastian's like, you're stupid. What did you do? Why did you do that? And Eugene's not having it. And he goes, full Glenn Aiden, where he punches him in the face. Again, it's Commonwealth, Alexandria connections. The Commonwealth is just a bigger, more involved Alexandria, and we've already seen similar things. So then as Sebastian's holding his nose, Stephanie's trying to apologize for him and blah, blah, blah. Lance, Mercer, and the other soldiers come out of nowhere. And they don't, Eugene didn't care that Sebastian is the son of Pamela Milton, the leader of the Commonwealth and a highly powerful figure. Who cares, right? He doesn't care about it whatsoever. But the plan was for Lance to have Eugene save Sebastian, so Pamela Milton owes Eugene a favor, which would probably be to go back to Alexandria and help them and bring those people here. But it backfired, so Eugene's in the jail cell, and Lance Hornsby goes in and talks to him, and Eugene doesn't want to give up the information, and then Lance is about to walk out, and then Eugene says, wait a second, hold on, and then I guess he tells them, but we don't see any of that in 1108. The Commonwealth is not in season 11, episode 8 at all. So we're going to have to wait till 1109 or 1110 or 1110. So the Commonwealth angle is pretty good there. Also, Yumiko goes in to meet Pamela Milton, and who is there, basically the secretary, is the real Stephanie, played by Margot Bingham. She talks to Yumiko, and they talk about things. You're part of that new group. How's everyone settling in? Pretty well. I haven't seen them in a little bit, this and that. Yumiko's like, we can't stay here. We can't do this. Then a phone call. Stephanie gets a phone call. Turns out that Yumiko can't meet with Pamela Milton because her son was attacked. Eugene is the one that attacked him, so we don't meet Pamela Milton. So Pamela Milton's the only one we don't meet in the first 8 episodes. We meet Lance, we meet Mercer, we meet Sebastian, we meet Tommy, we meet some auditors, we meet the Commonwealth soldiers. We see some different aspects of the Commonwealth. So we meet everybody but the leader, Pamela Milton. That will meet most likely in the second part right away in episode 1109 or 1110. So ultimately, it's a good setup thing for the Commonwealth. It doesn't deliver in 1108 because it's not there. Also in 1107, Daryl and Leah go out to go find Maggie. They go out and they find a random guy who goes back to a house, and we see a woman who's not doing well, who's stabbed in the stomach. That's the wife of the guy that they met. Leah is ordered to kill them by Pope. She disobeys the order, has the son and dad run away. Daryl shoots the woman because she's not going to make it anyway because Leah couldn't do it. So Daryl sees that Leah has some, a heart in her still. She also disobeyed Pope, which is kind of big for 1108. So we'll have to see how it goes down for the future of it, because in 1108 some pretty big things happen. And I'm just blanking on 1107. I'm not sure if anything else really happens. Well, the Maggie, Negan, Elijah stuff happens, and Father Gabriel stuff happens. So Negan teaches Maggie and Father Gabriel and Elijah the Whisperer skin masks stuff. They do that. They kill walkers. The grave that you see in the ground is not Alden's. It is Elijah's sister's best friend, who's a walker, that they kill, bury, and move on with that. Maggie is taught how to make the Whisperer skins and to herd walkers, and she does that more and more and more. Father Gabriel goes and spies on the Meridian. He sees the priest. He sees the priest by a grave, hides, thinks about taking out the priest, but the priest walks away, and that's really it. Nothing else happens there. Father Gabriel goes back to Maggie, and Maggie says, did you see any of the Reapers? He says no, so he lied to Maggie because he saw the priest. Does he not know he's a Reaper or not? But either way, he lied to Maggie about seeing anybody. So That just happened there. And then at the end of it, Maggie and Elijah and Negan and Father Gabriel all have their whisper skin masks on. They walk down the way. They pick up more walkers out of a building. Don't know where these walkers came from, but either way, they go there. As they're looking over, Elijah looks over, and I guess he sees his sister. That's a walker now, because he gets upset when he sees the woman. He doesn't say, like, oh, it's my sister, but we put two and two together. That's his sister. They walk and walk and walk. Maggie holds Elijah's hand and comforts him, and they just walk towards the Meridian, and that's where they're going, and that's how the episode ends. So let's go to 11:08. So it starts with the Meridian, Daryl, Pope, all those people are looking in the distance. They see all these walkers, and the walkers are swirling around, walking around in a circle. And they're like, what are they doing? Why are they doing that for? Daryl knows why they're doing it, because he figures that our group is using the whisper trick. And it's kind of cool that they're using the whisper tactics and tricks against the Reapers, because it's a pretty cool thing. It's like you level it up and acquire this skill, so you get to use it now. So Daryl is trying to figure out a way to protect his group that's there, but Pope sends out, I think his name is Wills, and he goes out into the woods, or he goes and leads the walkers away into the woods. And he's like, come on, come on, come on. And he is walking, he gets cocky on the radio. He's like, yep, we're doing good, we're doing this. As he's walking down, more walkers come behind him, so he gets swarmed and he gets surrounded. So he takes out his knife and kills a walker and another walker and a walker and a walker. And then he swings, and it looks like Negan. So he moves out of the way, and I think Negan stabs him. And then the guy turns around, and then boom, Maggie stabs him. And again, they have the Whisperer skin masks on. So it's just like Jesus in season 9 with the walkers came around, and they're dodging the thing. Wells, yeah, it's Wells or Wills, but Wells. But either way, the Reaper's guy is taken out, and he's swarmed by the walkers. They pick up the radio, and they walk away. So Maggie and them start to bring the walkers back towards the Meridian. But Pope, Leah, they're calling for Wells over the radio. They don't get a hold of him. They're like, they killed him. Pope says, nah, she killed him. So his paranoia is actually correct, where he thinks that Maggie was involved with it. So then he starts asking Daryl, what can you tell me about her? He's like, not much. I wasn't with her long. And then Pope's like, why am I keeping you around? He's like, well, God said you told me to, or God said to keep me around. And so he also says that Maggie's a good shot, and she has a bow and arrow, whatever. So now day turns to night, and then we get to see Alexandria. So Alexandria has this big, terrible storm. It's really windy and lightning actually hit around the windmill, and the windmill's on fire. So the reason the windmill's on fire is because of the storm, not the Reapers, not because they were attacked. It's just the random storm. So they're boarding up the windows. They're doing this, trying to, lock the door and close the door and make sure it's secured. We see Aaron, Diane, Barbara, Connie, Kelly, Magna, Carol, Lydia. They're all in the kitchen talking about what to do. Aaron says, I need a group to come with me to put out the fire by the windmill and secure the walls around Alexandria, because it looks like there's a breach and one of the walls broke, so the walkers are going to be getting in. So Aaron, Carol, Connie, and Kelly all leave to go help out around outside. We don't see them again the rest of the episode. Virgil gets up. He's like, I want to help. And he's like, you're not feeling well. Okay, I'll stay in the house. So he stays in the house and kind of helps out a little bit, but he was stabbed and not doing well from the feral people. So inside the house is Rosita, Diane, Barbara, Judith, the kids, Virgil, and that's really it. We don't see Jerry. That kind of bothered me. I didn't know where Jerry was. I kept asking, where's Jerry? We see Nabila for like 2 seconds. She's like, I'm going to go check on the kids. So then she leaves and does whatever. So was Jerry in another house, and that's where she went? I'm not really sure, but we don't see Jerry. We don't see Scott. We don't see anybody else of significance like that there that's still around there in Alexandria. But either way, it basically turns into the Rosita show, where she steps up and goes out and takes out all these walkers, and it's pretty cool. So the storm is there, lightning, it scares RJ. He holds on to Judith as they're sitting and talking. RJ says, I'm scared. Judith says, remember what our mom said, clear skies come after storms. So do this, and RJ says, I miss mom, and Judith says, me too. So they're talking, they're trying to come up with stuff. Judith is trying to be there for the other kids. Gracie's like, I want a weapon. And she's like, she picks up Judith's weapon and she's kind of like playing with it, swinging around and practicing with it. Virgil looks at Judith and says, you're a good kid and you're doing the right thing and your mom would be proud. And Judith asks Virgil, do you know where she went? And he says, no, I just don't know. And she's like, I miss her. I haven't talked to her in a while. And then Virgil basically, like, Virgil doesn't really know Michonne really at all, but it's a nice moment where he's, providing some guidance and help and some positive reinforcement to Judith. Like, you're doing the right thing. Your mom's not here, but she's with you all the time. How you talk, how you walk, how you carry the sword, swing the sword. It's basically like if you lose somebody, they never leave you because their impact on you stays with you the rest of your life. And it's true, and it's a nice moment if you think about it there too. But we want Michonne back. I want Michonne back. I want Michonne to come save the day or some way, somehow. I want Denai Guerrero to come back on the show, and she's my favorite character, and she's a great actress, and she's, I just miss her on the show. But she's not there, but she's mentioned again, which is great. So as Gracie's there swinging the sword around, she comes by a window. It might be the same window that the tree branch came in and broke the window. They try to board it up very well. The boards are pretty sloppily around there. But either way, a walker grabs Gracie. Gracie drops the sword. Judith picks it up, chops the arm off of the walker, and then stabs the walker. And then Virgil gets up and kills another walker. And then more walkers are coming by the windows and the doors. And they're banging on the front door trying to get in. And so there's Diane, Lydia, and Rosita by the front door. Rosita comes by and is like, open the door, I'm going to buy you some time. So she kills a walker. She puts like some brass knuckles with like a point on it or whatever. So she's punching walkers and she's got her, I can't remember what it is, a maltaco. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's the thing with the sharp things on the edge. It's like a machete, but a wooden one or whatever. But she goes out and kills a bunch of walkers, punches them in the face and do that. And as she's doing that, Judith watches Rosita from the inside, from safely inside. To me, they really highlight that. It's only like a couple seconds, but it's enough emphasis to show you that Rosita is there for Judith, as we saw that before. Judith is learning from a strong female role model, that Judith will continue to grow and be a badass woman. Michonne's not around, but Rosita's around to help raise her. So again, it's another person help raise Judith. I mean, it was Rick, Daryl, Carol, Michonne, like so many people around there. Maggie even helped Judith become the person she is. And Judith's like 10 years old, so she has a long way to go for development, but she's learning stuff from everybody. So she's learning from Rosita and Daryl and Carol and Michonne of how to be just a survivor in the zombie apocalypse. And I really hope they explore that down the road with her own show or somehow, some way, because I would love to see that. I think Judith is a great character for the future of the Walking Dead universe. Like I said, The Walking Dead Next Generation. Why not have Judith lead with Old Man Daryl? Somehow, some way, it'd be pretty cool. So that we get to see that. Rosita comes back in, they close the door, and she's like, let's stay away from the windows, guys. All right? I don't feel like going out there anymore like that. So they go in. As the chaos ensues in the house, more and more walkers are coming to the door. They decide to go up and run upstairs. Judith was kind of in charge to look over Gracie. She can't find her. Gracie goes down in the basement. That's starting to flood. Water's coming in from outside. Gracie's looking for a weapon. Judith breaks a pipe or a stick or something and gives it to, or a pole from a broom or something, hands it to Gracie and says, here, use this. So they decide to go back up from the steps onto the house. The door is wide open now, so there's walkers everywhere. They decide to run back down to the basement, lock the door while the basement's flooding, Judith and Gracie, and that's how the episode ends for them. So it's in a precarious situation for sure. So that's kind of everything that happens at Alexandria. It kind of goes from Meridian, Alexandria, Meridian, Alexandria. So again, it's at night. Alexandria is there. It's at night at the Meridian. So at the Meridian, you have Elijah and Negan walking together with their whisper skin masks on, and Father Gabriel and Maggie walking with their whisper skin masks on. But as they're walking in the grass towards the Meridian, things are blowing up. So there's mines all in the grass. So walkers are being exploded and blowing up. The Reapers aren't firing any arrows or doing anything. They're just letting the walkers blow up. From the mines. So Maggie and Father Gabriel end up sneaking into the Meridian. They walk towards the Meridian. As they're getting there, they take their masks off for some reason. The guy that Daryl shared some smoke with, that was in charge of the food pantry, storage area, Daryl walks over to him. He gives him a cigarette from his little cigarette pouch, his little purse. It's kind of funny if you watch Daryl. He has this little cigarette pouch, and he ends up killing the guy, stabbing him in the neck, throws him over the side, and Daryl says, "Over there, go that way." So Maggie and Father Gabriel go around. Maggie sneaks in. Father Gabriel asks, "Why does it smell so bad?" And I couldn't make out why they knew about it, but I guess Maggie knew this spot to get in because of the rottenness. It might be where they had the compost stuff for the crops or something, so no one's ever there because it stinks so bad. But either way, Father Gabriel and Maggie sneak in. Father Gabriel goes up into a building. He was told to go there by Maggie. Maggie evidently hid a sniper rifle and some rounds for it. So later on, Maggie gets in trouble, and Father Gabriel's shooting at the Reapers and takes out a couple Reapers and saves Maggie. Maggie goes in and hotwires the red truck that we saw before. She gets in the truck, drives it around, drives it towards the front entrance, and knocks out the front entrance. So the walkers are now coming in to the Meridian. Also before that, Negan and Elijah are walking towards the Meridian, and as they're walking, a mine blows up, not on them, but around them, and some of the shrapnel cuts Elijah's leg and Negan's arm. Negan helps Elijah and walks, and it's kind of the moment where I guess we should see that Elijah should realize that Negan is there to help him, because he helps him walk. He doesn't just leave him. He helps it. There's the moment there. So as this is all going down, Pope and Leah are deciding what to do, and Daryl's kind of sitting there on the outside, and Pope decides that we're going to fire these explosive arrows like fireworks, basically, at the walkers. But this is before Maggie hits the truck with the thing. So Daryl's worried about his group because they're going to fire all these arrows into the minefield, and Maggie, Father Gabriel, and people could get hurt, get killed. So he tells Leah that he's working with Maggie and his people are out there. They're walking among the dead, and he needs help. He needs to not have them fire those rocket things into the people because he's worried about his family. And it keeps coming up that Leah sees the Reapers as her family, and Daryl's family is Maggie and everybody in Alexandria. So it's family versus family. But then Leah cares about Daryl, and Daryl cares about Leah. So Daryl spills the beans and says that he's working with Maggie and that he cares about them, right? So he basically needs Leah to help him. So he tells them the truth. Leah's like, "You lied to me. How could you do this? How could you do that?" But then Pope repeatedly, he sent Wells out to be killed basically by the walkers and our group in the Whisperer skin masks, and Leah doesn't like that. So Leah's been seeing the fact that Pope is willing to kill his people, and he has. We've seen that too. So Leah's not really liking the fact that Pope is willing to kill her family, the Reapers. So as the truck goes in, Pope's like, "Oh, okay, aim the rockets towards the walkers, but also her own people." Leah says, "You can't do that. You'll kill her own people," because I think Carver's down there and a couple other people fighting off the walkers are down there. And Leah's like, "You can't kill her own people. What are you doing?" Pope's like, "If it's their time to die, they'll die. If God is going to help them, they'll be saved." And Leah's like, "What are you doing?" So the guy lights the fuse for the rocket things, and Daryl takes out his knives, and Leah is behind Pope. Pope turns towards Daryl, and he's going to go after Daryl. At the same time, Leah stabs Pope in the neck. So he's like, "Ugh, ugh," and he goes down, and he's bleeding, and he's crawling away. The Reaper that lit the fuse, was going to go after Leah. So then Daryl throws his knife and takes out that Reaper. And he also cuts the fuse, so now the rockets won't be launched. So, and it's like a Da Vinci old school weapon with some slits in it there too. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool design, probably a very old school weapon that came around. So Leah steps on Pope's back because as Pope's crawling and bleeding out, and then steps on his back and stabs Pope in the back of the head. So Pope's dead now. Pope's gone. So Pope only lasted 5 episodes. He was like 1104, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 episodes. He's killed off. So he came and went pretty quickly. So Leah is like, "Oh, what do we do now?" And Daryl's like, okay, let's get out of here. Come on, let's go. And Leah's like, you have your family, I have my family. So she gets on the radio and says, Pope's dead. Dixon killed him. And Daryl's like, what? What are you doing? What are you doing that for? And he says, basically, Leah's pissed that Daryl lied to her. Pope needed to go either way, but we kind of knew that Pope was going to go, right? One way or another. So Leah just wasn't going to attack Daryl, and Daryl wasn't going to attack Leah, but Carver's on the radio. He's like, can you repeat that? Can you let me know what happened? Dixon killed Pope. So then they're coming up the steps. Daryl like jumps kind of off this roof, goes down a ladder, and goes down on the floor. He's killing walkers with his knives. Carver and a couple guys come up, and they talk to Leah. And he's like, I knew I should have killed him when we had the chance. So Maggie is fighting off this Reaper, and the walkers are coming in, and I think it's Leah or Carver says, fall back, retreat. So then Negan comes behind Maggie with his Whisper Skin mask on. Maggie doesn't have her mask on anymore. But the 3 Reapers that were killing the walkers and around Negan and Maggie, they run back to get out of there. Maggie looks up. Leah's looking down from the roof. And now they light the fuse with the rockets because Carver asks, what are you going to do? He's like, we're going to kill. Leah says, we're going to kill everything that's in here. Because I'm guessing the Reapers get out of the kill area. They go up to the roof where everything's safe. But Maggie, Negan, Daryl, and I guess Elijah are down there. Father Gabriel's still upstairs in one of the buildings with the sniper rifle. So is he going to take out Leah? Is he going to take out some of the Reapers? But the way the episode ends is Negan with his Whisper Skin mask says they're retreating. And Maggie says, yeah, but why? And she looks up. Don't know if she makes eye contact with Leah, but Leah's looking down. The fuse for the rocket thing with all these different, there's like, 50 different rocket arrow things in there, start flying out. And it ends with one of the rockets coming right at the camera and then blank screen, and that's how it ends. So a cliffhanger ending. So I would assume that Negan and Maggie escape. They run out of there. They get away. Daryl will probably be safe, obviously. Elijah, we just don't know if he dies there or not. But Maggie was driving a red truck, so we'll have to see if Elijah makes it out or not. Does he make it into the second part? Well, he would, because he would make it to 1109, so we'll have to see after that. But again, Father Gabriel is up in one of the buildings with a sniper rifle. So could he's probably going to kill some of the unknown or lesser known Reapers. Like, I don't see him killing Leah. I don't see him killing Carver. But is Elijah going to do something and be able to go after Carver or Leah or something? I think Leah's going to die, but I just don't know how or when or what it is. So we'll have to see. Mike Allen says it's a Chinese exploding arrow battery. So I guess that's the term of the thing. But it's basically like these little smaller rocket kind of arrows. Like it's like arrows with like a charge on the bottom of them, like it's a firework thing. And they're all put in these little holes, all in these different things. So when you see it, you know what I'm talking about. And that's it. So Pope's gone. Leah's still alive. Daryl's still alive. Negan's still alive. Everyone of significance is alive. So some Reapers got killed. Pope got killed. Some Walkers got killed. And that's it. I mean, nobody else of significance died. But I feel like it's going to be like a 608 into 609 go right into that episode, because like it's kind of the same thing too. So no, Mike, that's cool. He says, you want me to show you how to build one, Brian? No, it's pretty cool. I'll take your word for it, but it's just pretty cool just of the weapon that they're using. And so if you think about it, they got rockets being fired at them. Judith and Gracie are in the basement that's flooding. It's locked, but it's starting to flood. Like, I mean, they can be okay, but it's starting to get water in there. I would assume that Aaron, Carol, Kelly, and Connie are going to come into the house, kill the walkers, rescue Judith and Gracie. Something's going to happen in the Meridian. Also, Daryl broke the lock open where the food was so they can get in there. I don't know how they're just going to walk out with the food with all the I don't know. But either way, that's how it ends. It's a cliffhanger ending. I don't know when it's going to come back, 11:09. But overall, the first 8 episodes are really good. There's no Commonwealth in 11:08. There's no Jerry. There's no Alden. Yeah, I mean, there's no Oceanside. Like, there's still things. No Pamela Milton. There's like things that are just not there yet. And after this, we got 16 episodes left, which is a lot, but not a lot too. So the last thing I want to talk about here is the Negan-Maggie conversation that I brought up in a video that I posted yesterday, I believe. It's not my theory or point that I think Negan and Maggie are going to get together. I don't want to see that happen, but they are seeing a lot of each other, and I don't want to see this happen at all. But do you think the writers would ever do that? Do you think the writers would have Negan and Maggie, if it's get together for a one-night stand or anything happen that way? Because it's crazy to think that, because Maggie does have a relationship after Glenn. It's with Dante, but Dante was different on the show versus the comic. And, you know, I don't think anybody would want to see that, but people are bringing up good points that passion is passion. And if, you know, I don't know how they're going to do it. So JJ says, Q&A, you said Maggie drove a red truck. Is this another red thing Easter egg based on your theory someone might die? Well, yeah, I don't know, JJ. I just know she has the red shirt on really like a lot of the first 8 episodes. They had red arrow feathers in their arrows. But yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, it's a Reaper red truck, so it's not her red truck. She drives it and then crashes it into there too. So it's definitely a connection. And there's also like a red fire truck there, and there's definitely red all around in a lot of places. So we'll have to see. I don't think Maggie's going to die, but who else does she have left to lose? Herschel is safely inside the house. Well, I guess not safe, but safer than where she is. We don't see Dog at all in the episode either. So what happened to Dog? Where's Dog been the entire time? So Lincoln Q&A Bride, do you think you will continue making videos on another solid show after The Walking Dead, or you progress more to a podcast review style channel? Asking because I care about the future of the. Yeah, I don't know, Lincoln. That's a great question. That's definitely down the road, because The Walking Dead's not ending till next year. You know, if it comes back in August, it'll end in October. If it comes back in October, it ends in December. So we're still looking at over a year away from that. Plus the Daryl and Carol show, hopefully the Rick Grimes movies, the Michonne show, Fear the Walking Dead. We'll be talking about a bunch of different things. I don't want to just get rid of this channel after The Walking Dead's done. We may adapt and change and talk about some different topics for sure. But I'll always love talking about The Walking Dead here and there and just kind of throw it in stuff. But we won't just end the channel, that's for sure. We'll adapt and make it fun. So there you go, guys. Wilson says, Q&A, do you think Rosita was bitten? No, I think Rosita was very much safe. I think she'll make it into the second part. We've seen some spoiler photos, and she does. She's very much alive, and the Commonwealth in a suit of armor. So she looks to join the Commonwealth soldiers. So it's pretty cool. And last one here. David Brooks, Q&A, do you think Mercer and Princess will get together like this in the books? I don't know. I think so. I could see that it's Ezekiel and Princess get together, but if Princess and Mercer get together, I could see that happening too, because I think something's going to happen there with Mercer and Princess, just because they're kind of hinting at it. So it just makes sense for sure too. So. And AMC The Walking Dead one, Fear still has plans for many seasons ahead. So yeah, we can talk about Fear the Walking Dead and different things there too, and different aspects. So we'll be there for sure. So thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to end the chat right now because I got to do some things. But thank you guys for joining me for the hour and 3 minutes here. I'm sorry I missed you last week, but I'll be back next Sunday. I'm not taking any more time off for the rest of the year. So I'll be back next Sunday and for the foreseeable Sundays down the future. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories, and getting stuff done. Any way you can help support the channel, guys, we truly appreciate it. Donating, liking, subscribing, sharing the videos, whatever you can do. We truly appreciate all the love and support. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you next